Right, how's it going? Well, firstly, sorry if it's a little bit wobbly. I'm going to have to hold the phone with my hand at the moment. I've put down my camera stand somewhere and I can't see where it is. But as the title suggests in this video, a little bit of change of plans to things in the Cactus Cave. I've got a new addition to the stable, which I wasn't really expecting. One of those kind of sort of bored eBay browsing window shopping moments, and had a little look, saw something, put a bid on. Didn't really think I'd win it, but I did win it. So I have a new bike which is kind of going to replace the DRZ. So the DRZ is now up for sale, yeah, this is going to be the next kind of project daily ride bike. So it won't be like an I won't take it off the road for a long period of time to do stuff on it. It'll be as and when little bits, which I think will probably serve a nicer kind of flow to the videos. But yeah, the DRZ, I've had to just return as much of that to stock as possible. So I wasn't expecting to sell it. That was going to be the project bike, and I was going to do something a bit interesting with that. And literally in the space of a few days, everything's changed. So I do need to sell that to kind of pay this one. But yeah, picked it up about a week ago and riding it home. Been riding it all week. I'll better show you what the new bike is, but I'm very chuffed about it. So there we go, 2001 Bonnie. Obviously the carbed version, pretty much as I bought it, except the rack and top box and screen have come off, and I stuck a set of drag bars on it, just because I've been riding it to work, and even I couldn't stand riding it in that original kind of setup. But yeah, obviously it's all going to get changed, but some of the things we've got on here, air injection's already been done. That can go, little oil temperature gauge, not fussed about that. Centre stand can go, Scott oiler can go. Obviously lights, I've got the LSL light, different indicators. Same with the rear. Got the tech shocks on here. I might actually slam it lower, take out the slug there, bring it lower and drop the front as well, so it's more of a, gonna be a bit of a rat roddy look. Nice open toga type pipes.
Hello Ian.
Hey mate, you right? Hey mate, you right? But yeah, sort of got quite a nice fruity sound to them, but whether they'll stay as the pipes that are going to stay on it, it depends where I go with it. But lots to do, but it's going to be bits and bobs as I go along really, because this is going to now be the daily ride. Favourite badges on there. So but what I want to do, because I've been riding it all week, is get it in the shed now it's the weekend, tear apart, well not tear apart, but have a real good look and nose round it, make sure it's all good. There's a few things I've had to take off as well, like heated grips switch there. There's like a well, there's heat grip switch. One of the gear indicators that can come off. I want to see where that's wired in. That possibly I could sell. Just go over it all really, and yeah, start taking some of the other stuff off that I don't want, and yeah, start with a blank canvas. So I'm going to get stuck in. So bless the DRZ. Back into fairly stock trim, nice new grips, got some bar end mirrors to stick on there that I had knocking around, fat bars back on, so she's in here. But yeah, I've got the Triumph off-road silencers, I've got the stock silencers, I've even got some magwheel silencers upstairs as well, that's by the by. Rentec rack, that needs a bit of a clean up, top box, seat, bars, mirrors, windscreen, gel seat, data tool. This I'm not going to sell, I'm going to hang on to that. That's the official service manual which came with it, so that's quite a nice bit of bedtime reading to have, because I'm sad like that. And in here we've got wrapped up in a t-shirt. Well, this is stuff like, that's like the heated grip switch that was on there, so that's come off. various bits and bobs, but wrapped in here to try and quell its squawking. Data to alarm. Thanks, stay in there. Good riddance. But yeah, so some bit of eBaying to do this weekend. So back in the shed, got the Bonnie on the stand. So I'm going to run from front to rear, kind of for my benefit really, so I can start having a little bit of a look in depth, because I've really, with work and whatnot, not had a chance to really get down and have a good old look at things. But straight off the bat, things that I'm going to change. So as I said before, there's this, I'm guessing that comes from the gear indicator or something. Looks that way, doesn't it? Yeah, there's something in there, so I need to have a look at the wiring. There's all, as I said, there was all manner of wires, cable tied and kind of mishmashed around here, which looked messy, so I just want to go through and sort all that out. Mudguard's coming off. I mean, it's 2001, it's done 30,000 miles. It's in very good shape for that, I think. It's been looked after. It isn't without its battle scars, but then that's why I got it for such a good price, really. But front mudguard, that's going to go. I mean, slight dent in it there. Yeah, not a fan of these indicators or the headlight and the headlight ears. Obviously, that's going to all come off. Don't like this affair on the gaiters. I do like gaiters though, so they'll stay, but we'll get rid of the ugly clamps. Yeah, go through all the wiring. I'm kind of, these bars, not an expensive set of drag bars, just 15 quid for a set of 1-inch drag bars. Just literally, I needed something quick to slap on the bike, because I knew I wasn't going to be able to put up with the standard bars. And even though I've got a few sets of bars, they're all 7/8 bars, not 1 inches. So yeah, so I put these on. I actually quite like them, so I think these will stay for a while. What else we got? We've got the ignition has been relocated down here, which is quite nice, because that saves me having to fab a mount up for that, and I can already stick on the LSL headlight and the other headlight ears. So that's kind of working straight away. These are the sort of quick, easy fixes I'm going to do in the shed this weekend. This huge seat will have to go, get chopped down. All this will go, the rear mud guard as well. I've still got that little, I've dug out a few bits that I've got in the cupboard. So I've got this little bobbed mud guard, which I think will go on. I've got a little front mud guard which can go on. Side mount, that might go on. Don't know, one of the old curved ones, I got that in the States. Got a black sprocket cover which I might put on there with it modified. What are the little bad points? Obviously a few little scratches. There's a little dent in it here. But these are things I'm just not really that bothered about, because it's going to be, like I say, not abused, but this is the daily hack. That one has morphed into being quite a, you know, I'm a little bit precious about it, you know, keeping it nice. This way I get my fix of riding a Bonnie, because I love my Bonnies, and I get to modify one in a different way to that one, hopefully. But also I can afford to be not too precious about it. Not obviously neglect or abuse it, but it's gonna be put to work and used. So yeah, and as I said, other things I need to do now. I'm pretty much the goal today is take off what I can and still be riding it. Have a look underneath and check everything's all good. Get rid of some of the things, and then have a bit of an eBay session over the weekend, I think. So yeah, time to get stuck in. Oh, is there no escape from dodgy wiring? God damn it. At least I think these have just all been like locked on rather than fully spliced. But yeah, a few minutes of getting rid of all this shit. Well, that whole thing about this not being a project bike, as usual, I've got a little bit carried away, having a little once over on the bike. And yeah, there's a few little things that I really want to sort out anyway to make sure it's properly roadworthy. And yeah, so initially I might be a little bit more involved than I thought I was going to be, but nothing too major, but I'll show you where we're at. Okay, so rear end and everything is off, shocks are off. I do want to see about dropping those, but I'll get back to that, that's not essential. Scott oiler and that crap's off. That was all the shit, extra crap that was in the headlight bucket that was leading to heated grips, that gear indicator and other little accessory stuff that I'm just not interested in, so that's come off. What else? Yeah, I'm thinking possibly, whilst I'm at this stage now and I've got a lot of access, I might just drop the airbox out of this one, because I'm interested to see if an EFI airbox will fit in, only because that's already got the bell mouth in it, the K&N filter and the baffle removed, so it's a bit more of a free-flowing airbox, which is going to be better until I get round to fitting the other pod filters to this one and possibly hacking up this airbox into a cheaper airbox elimination kit. But I don't know yet. I've just literally thought of that, and I'm just going to eyeball those up to see if it will fit. Front end's off as well. Just want to give the forks a good clean up. And the main reason the front end is off as well, once I finally got kind of all the wiring stuff out of the way, I wanted to see what the head race bearings were like, and I don't know if this is going to be quite as apparent on film, but that's quite a notchy. If you could just feel how notchy that is in there, they're fucked. So I won't even ride it like this now. I want to put some decent head race bearings in, change those. I think I have got some in the drawer as well. So far, oh yeah, what else? The rear tyre is getting a bit close to its wear limit. I have a set of rear tyres for this, set a front and a rear for this bike anyway, so I could probably even change the tyre myself. And yeah, so far some fairly big, not massive things, but some maintenance things that need doing, that hopefully aren't going to cost me anything, so I've got all the bits already. Brakes I'm going to bleed as well. They're not bad, but they could just probably do with nipping up a little bit. So yeah, so it's undergoing quite a health inspection, but that's just the way I like to do these sort of things. You pick up little things like this as well. There's no circlip on the bottom of the pin there, so that can, in theory, it would be quite difficult, but that can just pop out and go. So I need to find a clip for that. But yeah, so fun and games. But yeah, I'd rather get a good working, safe, most importantly, safe bike on the road. Also, as a side note, I'll show you some, you know, a lot of these connectors can do with cleaning up, and then you look at how some of this, I don't know, that's going to pick up, how some of this wiring's been spliced on. It's just appalling. So yeah, I'm going to go through all those and get all those neatened and tidied. Side here, the side stand switch had broken, so that's just been bodged as a bypass. I'll do a nice job of that. Right then, recap time. So back end's all been thoroughly degreased and cleaned. I've taken the slugs out of the rear shocks, so I've lowered it by that much now. Cleaned up the shocks, fitted the EFI airbox for now. That is a direct fit in, so I've got the K&N, the bell mouth, and obviously the baffle removed in there. So what I can do then is probably the other airbox, look at maybe even hacking into that to make a sort of a cheaper airbox elimination kit at a slightly later date, but that can come later. So yeah, so now all I want to do is the side stand switch that was kind of just, I mean, this is it works, but yeah, just a bit of wire staggered in there and taped up, which if that falls out and fails, then that's no good. So all I'm going to do is just cut the plug off and join these two wires together and tape it back up into the loom, and then remove the rest of the side stand switch, which is down here and attached to the side stand switch, funnily enough. And then I think I might have a look at the head bearings, because I want to get the front end kind of cleaned up and on as well. Okay then, so tapping out the top brace was pretty easy. That was just straight up and out. This bottom race is a bit harder because I've got this lip here, which is kind of pretty much exactly the same circumference as that, so you've only got this little gap here. So I've had to improvise tool wise taken a punch and just got the angle grinder on it and ground out a little notch. So I'm hoping that when that goes down there, spin it around, that'll be enough just to catch in there, which it is. Excellent. So I'm going to try and hopefully tap it out that way. Excellent. So that worked a treat. I have got some spare bearings, tapered ones as well, which is pretty cool. So I'm going to get the races in. Then I'm going to try and get the race off the steering stem as well. The race off that. So yeah, going to be a bit difficult because I'm running out of cutting discs. Cool. Right, bottom bearings on the steering stem, so that's all ready to go. I've stuck the top bearing in the top. Both the races are in, top and bottom. So it's time to start reassembling the front end. Right then, so just got the adjuster nut on at the moment, holding it all in place. Because they're new bearings, going to want to preload these first. So the manual says to tighten this to 40 Newton meters to preload it, then back it off, and then tighten it so the free play is eliminated in the steering by hand. And then the adjuster nut, the lock nut, that one on top goes on, and that gets tightened down to 40 Newton meters. I don't have any way of getting 40 Newton meters. Oops, sorry, put my ciggy down. On there, so I'm going to have to kind of just guesstimate it a little bit. I also don't have the Triumph tools for doing this, so I've just got had this for a while, a nice thin. It was a 36, but this is a bit bigger. I think I had to grind that out, but I got it from like a bike shop, and yeah, cost me a couple of quid. I think I've got another bike spanner there as the second one as well to hold the one, because obviously when they're on top of each other, you haven't got an awful lot of room, so you need quite thin spanners. So that'll do the job. A lot cheaper, a couple of quid, and yeah, I'm gonna have to guesstimate it a little bit down to 40, back it off, and then go from there. But hey ho. So to get the first set of it right is just to have it as loose as I can without any free play in it. A bit of play there, so look at that down a bit. Okay, so holding the lower one with one of the spanners and just nipping up the lock, adjusting that. So it's 40 Newton meters, so it's not insane amount, but just enough. Free play, nice and smooth. Cool, right, let's get the top yoke back on. Okie doke, so there we go. Forks are on, gaiters are on, haven't put the clamps on yet. Obviously, yeah, before you put the top yoke on, as I said I was going to do, just make sure you've got stuff like your handlebar brackets and things slid on, because these are one piece, as are those. So yeah, you don't want to put that on and realise you haven't put those on. But yeah, whilst everything's on, like the forks and stuff, and a bit more weight, just double checked the head race bearings that are still moving smoothly, and there's no grasping the fork, no free play, and they're spot on. You'll also notice it's very close. There's probably about a Rizzler's worth of difference between underneath the bar there. But I've basically that's how much we taken out of the rear shock at the back. So I've kind of done about the same at the front. This isn't the correct way to shorten your forks at the front, but I don't want to do anything permanent yet because I need to get the bike up and running. And this is, of course, it's a case of 4 bolts to adjust if it's not quite right or if it's too low. So it's kind of just testing, if you like, at the moment. But there we go. That's pretty much buttoned up. So I think, yeah, better get the front wheel back on and probably get the headlight and everything sorted. Well, the easiest way of doing a quick bypass job on that side stand switch is take the switch off the kickstand end, if you like. So that's the end that goes in. 3 wires come out of that. So I've cut the middle one out because you don't need it. You just need to loop the 2 outer wires. Soldered those together. Stuck a bit of gluey heat shrink on the end. And then just for belt and braces, just put a big old lump on over the top. And that'll do. There you go, finished. So yeah, big piece, gluey, crimped over, that seals the end over like that. That can just be clipped straight into the loom, and that just, well, I think it's a little bit more robust than just the 2 wire, like loose wire, bridging them. There we go, in position, just tucked away in there. So cool, that done. Right then, getting there. So the kind of headlights on, wiring's all through. I've tidied up all the crappy bits on the wiring and streamlined all that, so it's nice and neat and tidy, and re-wrapped it back there. That's just the indicator ones. They were such an abortion on the end, I've had to just chop them off. So I haven't quite decided where the indicator's going to go yet, so just going to leave those for a second. But I'm going to get the clocks on as well now. So these are the standard clocks with it, or the clocks that came with this one, the one with the built-in tacho as well. But I'm actually thinking of downsizing a little bit. Obviously I'd like a smaller speedo. Always looks nicer, like on that one, a much cleaner dash. But I haven't got any of those knocking around. But what I have got is my original housing off mine. So I'm just going to use that. So I'm just going to pop out the old clock, well, which I have done on this one. Pop the clock out on that one so we get correct mileage reading, obviously. And yeah, I'll put those on. So I think they'll tie in nicer because they're black and it's just the one clock. So yeah. Right, so they're back on again. A little bit big and bulky for what I'd normally like, and I dare say they will get changed at some point. But for now, it's just about getting it bearable and how I want it on the road. So that's cool. Right, rectifier. I don't really want to mount it underneath here because I've dropped the headlight down a little bit, and that's going to just get in the way. Looks a bit bulky on the front. Plus I'll probably put the indicators on the bracket under there, so it's going to get a little bit tight. So this is under here is where we normally where we see most of the rectifiers relocated. I haven't got a spare rectifier relocation bracket, so I'm thinking I'm going to mount it that way round, just through the hole there and onto where the horn normally goes. The hole in here is probably about 1 mil smaller than the bolt size that I need for there, so I'm just going to widen that out gently and then bolt that on. Mounted on there now. Slightly larger hole, longer bolt. We're happy days. That's moved out of the way and freed up this area. And then I can tuck with the ignition and the rectifier connectors, do what I did on my other one, and just tuck the connectors up under here in front of the coil.
hidden behind the frame, just gives you a little bit more space in the headlight bucket as well. Right, I need to get these indicator wires a little bit longer, so I've started. Easiest way I'm going to do it is get some extra wire, and see, I've made a first one is a crimp like that. Now all I've got is these butt splice crimps, and they're fine, they're great, but I don't need to worry too much about them being insulated, because I'm going to heat shrink them, and then that's all going to be wrapped anyway to tidy up. But they are a little bit bulky like that, so this is what I do as a little kind of half cheat. I'll show you. Obviously don't breathe this in, because it's probably going to be a bit minging. And then just pull it apart. An old sausage on the barbecue. And the plastic will just fall off it. Still a little bit hot. There we go. Got that one. So now if it was insulated, I'd be using these crimps, but obviously because the dimensions have changed on this now, I'll just get what I call the one shots, stick them in there, do that. Yeah. Nice and tough. Get the ball. Fine. There we go. So a little bit less bulky than if they'd all been with the insulation on. So let's wrap that up now. Get that in the loom and crimp some ends on. We've got the indicators linked up. tyres on, but don't know if we're picking up that. I think the old, because that was a little bit rusty around that valve, where maybe I snagged it with a tyre iron, or it's just too far, but there's definitely air escaping here, so I'm gonna have to take it off and put new tube in, which is a bit of a shit. Okay, so ignoring the flat tyre and a little bit more work we're going to do, I've just temporarily brought it out just to see what the stance is like, and I quite like it. Feels pretty low. Just test fit the little mudguard on the back, tank's just loosely on. That's obviously my other brat seat. That's it with a drop low at the front and different clock arrangement, but yeah, it's getting there. Okay then, so that's probably going to be pretty much it for the video. At least I got a look at how it was going to stand. Bit frustrating with the rear tyre there, but shouldn't really complain. Tyre didn't cost me anything. Just got to get an inner tube, which ain't going to be much, about 10s. So hopefully I can pick one of those up after work tomorrow. But yeah, I'm going to pretty much wrap it up. Well, I've got a wheel to take off and the tyre to take off now, and yeah, a few other little bits and bobs to go over. Just finish up the wiring. There was a couple of little gremlins I noticed last night, where I wasn't getting, the indicators weren't really playing up, and I wasn't getting all the instrument lights on here, so I need to kind of go through things a little bit. So yeah, I kind of hope to have just stripped off what I didn't need and kind of have it running again, ready to go to work tomorrow, but I don't think that's going to happen somehow. But yeah, that's it, and I've got a load of cleaning up of spare bits to do and get those on eBay at some point, which unless anyone wants a load of T100 bits, do drop me a line, or in fact the DRZ, it's for sale. If you want it, again, drop me a line. But yeah, thanks for watching, take it easy, see you shortly with a bit more fun.